To imagine a society in which people aren't held accountable for their actions and don't receive repercussions for breaking a distinct set of rules. This society resembles an anarchy, and the security and safety of every single citizen would be sacrificed at this point. This goes to show the importance that the criminal justice system plays on our everyday lives and protection. Over the past couple of weeks, I've done hours of research on different scholarly articles on the reasons why there's so much violence involved in the criminal justice system and how we can prevent it. So today I'll be convincing you why we need to bridge the gap between our communities and the criminal justice system so that we can prevent this. And the way I will be doing this is by showing you how this is a problem, the reasons why it's a problem, and ways in which we can combat this. Next slide. Violence against police officers has been a problem since the establishment of the criminal justice system itself, but has seen a definite increase over the past decade. In fact, according to David Breary, a statistician for the Department of Justice, over the past decade there have been more than 58,000 assaults against police officers each year, resulting in over 15,000 serious injuries annually. Also, Michelle Covington, in her scholarly article for her graduate degree from the University of Harvard, wrote that over 11.3 out of 100 police officers are assaulted every single year. So this goes to show how common violence is in the criminal justice system and the extent to which police officers risk their lives every single day as they go to work just to protect us and our families. One of the main reasons for this, the prevalence of violence in the criminal justice system, is the negative view that a majority of United States citizens have against police officers. And there are many different reasons for this negative view that people have, but one of the, something that shows this is, in a survey of 4,000 United States citizens, 31% held the view that police officers routinely lie to serve their own self-interest. Now, there are a lot of reasons that people have this unjust view of the criminal justice system as a whole, but one of the major reasons is social media portraying police officers to unjustly use violence and force, and just viral videos of these altercations between police officers and citizens. Now, although I'm not saying that that police officers never act unjustly or use excessive amounts of force, sometimes these videos unfairly portray the situation, and if one was to actually gather all the information behind it and formulate a educated opinion on it, they might actually have a different view as if they had just seen that picture or video that was viral on Twitter or Facebook. And also, even though there are police officers who act unjustly, it's unfair to discriminate on the whole population of police officers based on a few unjust actions of a few police officers. Next slide. Another reason for this unjust view of police officers is a lot of times police officers get away with unjust actions. They use excessive amounts of force, and they aren't held accountable for this. And this causes a sense of anger within the society. And many people, this affects the way they interact with police officers when they have interactions, when they get pulled over, when they just have an interaction with a police officer in general. And police officers feel this sense of hostility and fear, and it sometimes increases the altercation in a negative way, and just furthers it's counterproductive. It just furthers the separation between our communities and police officers. So, next slide. So some steps of action we can take to prevent this violence against police officers is highlighting the positive things police officers do. There's a lot of police officers who go above and beyond their line of action to make sure their citizens that they serve and protect feel safe, and they just do things for the community in general. And these police officers should be recognized just as the ones who perform unjust actions. They should be recognized as well and commemorated for their service to our communities. Another program that is furthering the movement heavily is community policing. Community policing is a program works with the criminal justice system to cooperatively work with people in neighborhoods to identify their concerns, solicit their help, and solve their problems. Now what this means is, as opposed to just focusing on crimes and misdemeanors and stopping these things in general, they get involved with the community and identify what the problems they're having and the reasons that they don't feel safe in their communities, and working to help them feel safe and feel protected, so that they have this connection between them, so that when they do have interactions with one another, it's more peaceful and violence is prevented. Next slide. So, other things we could do to prevent police violence is also gathering an opinion. Before having an unjust view of a police officer because of a picture you see on the internet, actually look into the things that happened in that altercation, the reason that the suspect was confronted, and the reason that the force was used. Because sometimes a video shows a police officer maybe using excessive amounts of force, but instead of showing what happened before that and the suspect resisting, it just shows the event in which the police officer was using this force, and it just unjustly portrays them as using brute force for no reason. So one thing I want to tell you guys is gather an opinion, not just in police officers in general, but just over social media. It's a lot of the times people have opinions that aren't fully educated because they have certain information, but they don't gather all of it to actually formulate a good opinion of the matter itself. So today I talked to you about the criminal justice system, the prevalence of violence in the criminal justice system, the reasons for it, and ways in which we can combat it. So if you can take anything away from this speech, I would say try to gather an opinion on anything you see on social media before you actually take it to heart and do something about it. And also, maybe thank the next police officer you see, because they risk their life every single day to ensure our safety and the safety of our families. And yeah, the next page is the pictures I used. Yeah.